the technology when it comes to training for a marathon. There is certain information that you've got to know to be able to perform to your program correctly. So the things that as marathon runners obsess about is things like cadence. It's really important that you know what your leg turnover is when you're actually running so that you can keep your leg turnover high. You want to be looking at about 180 revolutions per minute on your leg turnover. So that's like the pace of your legs going around. And the reason that's important is because if you don't keep your cadence high, you can start to be subjecting your body to a lot of impact, and obviously your injuries, you're going to be prone to more injuries. So, so how do you do that? Well, if you actually look at my foot, I have what's called a foot pod on here. This is a Garmin foot pod, and when that strikes the ground, it's sending information through to my Garmin watch. And I have to say, there's lots of different watches and accessories you can use out there, but I absolutely love Garmin. That's one of the brands that's been around for many, many years, and I find it incredibly reliable. So as I say, my Garmin watch is measuring my cadence, but it's also measuring a number of other things. It actually, through the back, it's measuring my heart rate, so I don't have to wear a strap, and it's also measuring my distance, my time, and my pace. So when you're actually looking at your program will give you what pace that you should be running at on each of the runs, and that will actually make sure that you stick to the right kind of pace when you're running. So I absolutely love my Garmin. It's by far the most critical, non-essential that I have, and it will become your best friend, because when you're running a marathon, you are having to pace yourself throughout that marathon, and you should always be looking to either run an even split over your marathon, so keeping your pace even, or you should be looking to run a slower first half and a faster second half. And obviously it's very, very difficult to do that if you're not being able to measure how quickly you're going. So I highly recommend that you get yourself some technology and get yourself a Garmin, and make sure that you understand the information and that you can plan your workouts accordingly. Also, what's really cool about the Garmin is it comes with an app, which means this actually synchronizes directly by Bluetooth between my watch and my phone. So I don't have to do any of that kind of hot syncing, being able to get home and plug it in. It all does it automated. And what this does is it actually gives me a whole host of information. It maps my run, which means that I can see exactly where I've run, how far I went, but most importantly, it's actually giving me information like, what was my distance, my time, my average pace, how many calories I burnt. It also tells me what my splits are. So for every kilometre, what speed I did that kilometre at. And that's the critical information that you need when you're actually doing marathon running. Gives you your heart rate, etc. You can see how efficient you're being. But so this is a really cool app. It's got literally everything that you need technology-wise to be able to track your runs correctly. Now, as you can imagine, when you're running for hours and hours and hours, it gets boring. Nobody is going to be telling you that this is exciting and riveting exercise to do. So it's really important that you get your entertainment right. Now, I'd like to introduce you to what has really made a huge difference to me on this marathon training. This is the very first time I've used this, but this is actually called a Jaybird. This is some Bluetooth wireless headphones. As you can see, it's so nice not to have that horrible wire that's leading from your headphones all the way down to wherever you're going to put your phone in a pouch. And what it does is, just by plugging in these headphones, you can actually operate them actually from your headphone itself. So you can move forward, you can move backward, you can pause, you can answer your phone, you can do everything from these headphones. I absolutely love them. They say they're Jaybird wireless headphones. And that also means that you can go on your phone, and so you don't have to worry about the wires. You can keep your phone wherever you like on your body, and you can go on your phone and obviously decide what music you're going to listen to. Now, I'll give you a bit of an insight into what I listen to when I'm actually out running. There's two different choices. I go through a lot of downloaded music. Okay, it drives my husband mad because it costs us a fortune, but I have to go through brand new music to keep me motivated on my runs. So I'm actually listening to Cream Ibiza 2015. Who knew that the general manager of Jets would be listening to such cool tracks? Or sometimes music can get a little bit too much. So you might want to choose to do something a little bit more sophisticated, like listen to a podcast. And I have a number of different podcasts, but my favourite ones are TED Talks. So I actually download the TED Talk radio, which means that you get like an hour of a certain subject, and they're really, really cool content. And it's amazing how much you can actually learn, and you can enjoy other people talking to you about different types of subjects. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do when I'm running on the road. Now, one thing you'll end up with lots of when you're running is these kind of pouches, because you need to be able to carry things on your body. You never ever want to be running carrying something in your hand. So don't be tempted to carry a water bottle or something in your hand, because that can really change the way that you're running in your style and can start to impact your body in a negative way. So you need to decide what kind of pouch you need. Now, pouches depend upon what you're going to be doing. So you don't generally need to run with water up until about an hour. And you say like 30-minute runs, you don't need to take that. So you just need to probably take your phone. Now, these are new pouches, which are absolutely awesome. Now, these tiny little pouches mean that you can strap in literally just your phone. And it just straps right around your waist, and it's really, really elasticated. So that means that your phone literally doesn't bounce up and down. And I say, because you've got the wireless headphones, you don't have any of these wires hanging down. So I absolutely love these pouches, and they're only like $30 from your running stores. But if you do have to run with water, obviously you have got numerous different options. The option that I prefer is with a brand called Nathan. They're a running brand, and what they do is they say you can just put a single bottle. So a single bottle will take you up to about half a marathon worth of running before you need to refuel. And so you just strap it round. But the thing I love about this is it goes sideways, so you tend to spread the weight more evenly, because they say a water bottle that's full can be quite heavy. They say it's also got some little pockets on it as well, so you can keep cash and things in there. If you're going to be running for longer than that, then you are going to need something like a camelback, which means like a rucksack style that you're going to be carrying on your back. But you should always, always take your own water supply. Don't rely on other people or hope that there's a bubbler out there in the middle of nowhere. You never know. And if you don't have hydration, then you're not going to be able to run efficiently.